yes. I'm here to share the story of, in this case, Emily and also Alexia on this very interesting show that I have watched recently. But before we get into further details, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get right into it and not waste any more time. So now the show is called Piste Noire, basically meaning black slope. It is a French crime series about Emilie, a former ski champion who returns to her elfin hometown of Les Claires to investigate a mysterious caravan fire that eliminated a seasonal worker, uncovering deep-rooted corruption and, in this case, real estate scams tied to a major resort development. Yes, forcing her to also confront her past with her family and also relationships that she have left behind. So that is the whole plot of, in this case, the series. So we will have to start off with, in this case, Alexia. Alexia is basically part of a group of environmental activists that is trying to stop development plans that Emily is investigating. This creates a complicated drama for Emily as she balances her professional duty with her attraction to, in this case, Alexia, but also tries to solve the case that she needs to solve, while she's also trying to figure out her own personal life with her ex-partner, who's also a woman. I'm not 100% sure if they were married or they were just in a long-term relationship and they have decided to have a kid together. But you can definitely see that the co-parenting situation between the two is not the best, as her other partner, or in this case, ex-partner, feels like she's not present, she's not there for her son, and she's always prioritizing the work over, taking care of her son, even though she does love her son deeply, but she's just very dedicated in getting this, case solved. So you can basically see how she and her ex-girlfriend or ex-partner in this case get into conflict, regarding co-parenting, and just to see how there's also very difficult for Emily in this case to balance. So as the series progresses, you can see that Alexia and Emily, they start to get very close because obviously, Alexia, she's very well known in the town. She's very well respected. Everybody loves her. She's somebody that, the community takes care of very well. And she also takes care of very well of the community and those who are there for her, because she's part of, like I said, an environmental group that plays a mega role in protecting the mountains of the, in this case, the French, Alps in this case. So that's basically the dynamic between the two. They meet while, Emily is in town. They actually end up, finding each other. They bond instantly with each other. You can see the instant connection between one another. But obviously, they are working on opposite of things. Alexa, she protects the mountain. She wants to protect the city. She doesn't want, this resort to get built because it will destroy the mountain. It will destroy the environmental, situation of the city. And on the other hand, Emily, she's investigating the eliminations and the crimes and the corruptions that have been going on. The two start to develop a very quick relationship. They get close. They start to hook up with one another, keeping things low key. And obviously, Alexia always being there for, Emily, through thick and thin, always just supporting her through everything to make sure, that they can find balance between, being lovers, but also at the same time, to be there and, to how to separate things. Obviously, things get a little bit more complicated as, in this case, Emily's, ex comes back in the picture, takes her son away from her because she felt like, Emily's not being a very present parent while her son is under her care. So that also create conflicts. And then Alexia also starts to create a group in order to go to protect the mountain and, to make sure that that the constructions doesn't go on. More elimination starts to happen in the town. And obviously you can see that too was just, at some point in the last two episodes, living and doing their own things separately, but always finding a way to make time for one another. More of the story, their relationship isn't like, how can I say, based on a lot. It's more based on, them working, them finding love, them finding comfort in one another, knowing that both of them have so much going on, because Alexa, the person, they wanted to corrupt her in order to, be by the side of the constructions that will be taking place. But obviously, Alexia said she's not the person that can be corrupted, and she stands for what she believes in, and she believes in protecting the mountain and protecting the city and protecting the environment. So obviously, that also led her into troubles because she didn't want to obey by the rules of those people that wanted her on her side. On the other hand, we can see Emily, the cases is starting to get more heavy and more heavier on her as she cannot make sense of things that was going on. But later on, obviously, everything worked out. And how can I say, she could solve the case, and not only her partner also helped her out a lot in order to solve the case. And later on, she also had to find closure with her parents, because she came out at a very young age to her parents, not that very young, yeah, how can I say, like, she came out to her parents, more of the story. And her parents rejected her, so she would show, so that's one of the reasons and the main reason why she left town. But at the time, she was living with her boyfriend, with her partner, with someone that she was basically training with. Because if you guys don't know, Emily, she's a openly queer, and she is the lead character of the series, and she is a young gender man, from Lyon. So she was practicing back then. And obviously, she just left her boyfriend. She didn't give him no excuses. So later on, she actually ends up finding out while she was back in town that she was hooking up with Alexia, and then he confronted her. This is 10 years later, and he basically said, like, why did you leave? What happened? And that's when Emilia finally told him, the reason why I left is because I told my parents that I was a lesbian in this case, and they rejected me, and I had to leave. Obviously, he felt hurt, he felt betrayed, because he wanted, her to tell him regarding this, what she was facing, but at the time she didn't want to tell anybody. She just wanted to leave, and this is exactly what she did. And you can see that he still feels a type of way regarding that whole situation. So they could finally make peace with it, even though he wasn't very happy with, what he had found out. But at the end of the day, Emily is gonna do Emily, and she and Alexia, they just start to grow even more together, even more, spending time together and just creating this beautiful bond. At the end of the series, you can see that they had a very deep conversation about what is to happen next. So Emilia, after solving the case, she have decided, to leave the town, to go spend more time with her son and make time for him. On the other hand, we have Alexa, that after, spending her whole life, at, her city, her town, she has decided to also, go away for some time. Obviously not saying the destination, but according to my analyzation, it looks like, they might have left together, because, just the way the conversation went. And not only that, you can also see that in this case, Alexa said she couldn't be in the town for, for after what happened, that she needs a break, she needs like a fresh start, and she wouldn't mind to go somewhere else and explore someone else. So there's also, a sign that, they basically ended up together, in my personal opinion. Because the series is in French, so I had to watch it with subtitles, and it was a kind of difficult, so I had to, read everything attentively in order to make a conclusion of the story. So if you guys want to know more, and you guys are actually interested in watching the show, I will highly recommend going to Prime Video. Unfortunately, there's only one season available in each episode, and there's around 6 episodes to watch. So don't miss out on it. It's very good. They get a lot of camera time together, and they also get, good amount of time as individuals as well, just to have their own personal storylines as well. So yes, guys, that's basically it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and good.